Welcome to Fantasy Football Hub. I'm joined by your new host, Redditor. What's happening?
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm
How's
good.
everyone doing?
I'm good. I hope everyone's doing all right. Let us know in the comments.
Me
Aish Waria is the first one in. Who to bench, Martinelli or Leeds forward? We're going to get in to answer lots of your questions. We're going to try and solve all your headaches. We're going to have a look at our teams, talk about what we're doing. But this is my final stream. Handing over here to your new host. I have to go and focus on my own channel. I'm going to be out of the country a lot, which means I won't be here. And unfortunately, FPL is very timely, hence the live streams. But we've lots to talk about. Do you want to give people a quick idea of where you're at? You look like you're having a pretty good season.
Yeah, season's going okay. Not too bad. I'm about 27k, I think we just said, off stream. It's going okay. I was doing a little bit better. I was at 5k, but post the World Cup, it's not been as good. Let's just say that. But I'm trying to get back to it now, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have found this season very hard. There's a relative template, and a lot of the experts are struggling. You know, a lot of people aren't having great seasons, and there have been a few big swings and scores. There's been, obviously, I mentioned it to you pre-recording, like my biggest being is the Haaland captaincy that I missed, and a couple of people have missed sort of calls like that. It feels like a pretty template season. When I looked at your team,
super template. Yeah,
you know, you had a lot of players that I have. Everyone, and particularly now, I think with the double game week coming in the blanks and whatever else, it's almost funneling us all into Man City, Man United, Arsenal. And even those little differentials like the not even the differential, the Newcastle and Brighton guys and stuff like this, it's taken that away even in the shorter term. So I think we're probably going to see our most template weeks ever, maybe.
I think so, because I mean, people have to start building towards 25, and you know, as you said, that takes away Newcastle players, Brighton players, etc. So yeah, you're going to have as many, 9 City, Arsenal, United players if you can.
And see where we go. I mean,
yeah, you kind of have to, otherwise it's just not the best way of playing it. So yeah, a little bit boring, but what can you do?
Exactly. If you don't do it, everyone else will, and then they'll all run away. I think it's about this week. It's I feel like all the content we're seeing and all the content I've made, it's very much like, oh, who you'd have 3 United assets, Rashford, Bruno, Shaw. Okay, and who do we want to get from City? Oh, well, it's probably Haaland, obviously, then probably like a Mahrez and a Kevin De Bruyne. And then people look at Newcastle, and it's obviously your Trippier and maybe even doubling or triple up in defence there now that Almiron's off form. It's all very, like, I don't know, predictable. The big question this week is Rashford triple captain. So I think what we'll do is we'll start by having a look at our teams, what we're going to do, and then we'll just ply into people's questions, because maybe people have slightly different setups in their teams. We can repeat all the stuff everyone's seen, and we can try and be a bit different. So if I pull up on the screen very quickly, this is your team on the My Team tool on Fantasy Football Hub, ranked 27479, so having a good season. Kepa there, Shaw, this is from last week as it was played.
Yeah.
So as it stands, you've got Shaw and Rashford. Are you planning on endeavouring to get a third United asset in this week, or have you already pulled the trigger?
Well, I haven't actually done. I need to make sure that I do my transfers before the deadline, because I haven't done them yet. But yeah, my idea right now, unless I see anything, which I doubt I will, is to get rid of that fraud Almiron, whose stats are
fraud.
Just not doing it for me. Well, I don't know. Everyone got on him because he was doing unbelievably well, form of his life. But yeah, since the restart, he's not been doing too much. So get rid of him for Bruno Fernandes for my third Man United slot. Pretty standard. And then to fund that, I think I'm going to have to sell Kane for Nketiah.
I swear, everyone I talk to this week on content, this is the move. These are the moves I'm going to be making. These are the moves you're making. These are the moves I think it was either Abdul or Bakar making, maybe both of them. It's just like, it's a weird one getting rid of Kane, because it's not like he's having a bad season.
He's having a great season. Yeah,
it's an incredible season. I think one of his best. It's just overshadowed by Haaland.
Exactly. Yeah, it's amazing that his goals have been. He's so consistent. I mean, the only negative thing I can think of this entire season was just missing that penalty with England. For Tottenham, he's been fantastic. But yeah, I think he's got City this week, and then his fixtures aren't too good anyway. And Arsenal are going to have the double and a good fixture this week as well. You got to fund the third United player somehow, and I think Fernandes is probably the best after Rashford and Shaw. I mean, that's slightly debatable, but yeah, to me that makes the most logical sense.
SMBTD says, would you not regret selling Kane given his fixtures after City?
Well, I mean, I'd rather have Kane than Nketiah after the Arsenal double. But given how well Arsenal are playing right now and Nketiah's stats, and he's just being in great form, you got to sacrifice something, And yeah, it's a
Yeah.
shame to lose Kane, but he's got to go.
Yeah, no doubles. You got to optimize around them.
Exactly.
Particularly, again, as you say, Nketiah top of all sorts of numbers. The XG from open play over the last X amount of game weeks. I'm not sure how many it is, but I think I seen it was like 3 or 6 or whatever it is. He's
Yeah.
actually ahead of Haaland. I imagine it's 3. A longer term, I imagine Haaland will come out on top. I forget the number. I keep quoting this stat. I just know I see him at the top of all these charts that people are posting, but I keep not seeing the number.
Well,
So
even
like
if it's,
Nketiah,
even if it's
hard
two
not to get him.
games, it's still great,
Yeah, and you look at that Everton fixture away from home, but Everton, they've obviously lost their manager, they've lost their most expensive player, they didn't sign anyone in January. It's one of those where we're all looking for this new manager bounce, but maybe it doesn't come.
Yeah, because it's quite soon as well. He's not had too much time on the training ground with them, and it is the best team in the league right now that they're playing against. So, yeah, I get it. New manager bounce, it's Daesh, but just because they're at home doesn't mean they're not gonna concede a few goals. Never know.
United obviously have 2 plum home fixtures as well, Leeds and Palace.
Yeah.
We're seeing in the comments there, Eddie reckons Bruno's going to blank. I would probably I don't think I'd put a nut on it, but I'd put a finger on it that he doesn't blank.
I mean, he may well blank, but you wouldn't predict him to blank.
I'd
I
put the
don't
tip
think.
of my
But-
pinky on it. I think like in Leeds and Crystal Palace,
Really?
if he plays 180 minutes, Bruno gets a return. Like,
I'm not
someone's
even
going to
sure I
quote me
put
on
the
this.
tip of my. No, he doesn't know. He'll get it. And also, the thing is though, no Ericsson, which might just make them not tick as well. But in that Leeds game, I just can't see them not scoring a couple of goals at least. And you think if they were to, then he'd have to be involved. He's also going to be on more set pieces.
Apparently, Sabitzer
Maybe
looks good to go.
penalties.
Apparently,
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe just chuck him straight in. I don't know. It's
maybe you get a wee 30 minutes here and a wee 40
Yeah.
minutes there. You never know. But this would be your team going into the game week. If we look at the top of the screen there, you'd have an 88% game week rate, 92 predicted points. If I offered you 92 right now, would you take it?
I mean, that sounds great to me. Give me that. Give me that all day.
You take it 100%.
It depends how the points come though, because if they're all Rashford and he's got 250 EO or something, and I'm not so sure. But yeah,
yeah.
I can't say no to 92 points. No way.
No. I think I'm in a very similar position. If we look at mine on the actual site, my team, and I need to make transfers, I actually need to sub White in. So, I might get the same team as you. No, the keeper's different, and I wish the keeper wasn't different. But outside that, I think we've got pretty much an identical team. Which is it's just that stage of the season, and I'm probably going to be making identical moves. I'm probably going to pull the trigger on stream, maybe just slightly after stream, but
Yeah.
it is looking very, very much like Almiron and Kane out and those 2 guys in. We'll be looking for Bruno.
Oh wow, we do actually have 14 out of 15 the same.
Yeah, it's
name of the game at the moment.
well, that's the thing. You're coming in to host the show. It's good that you're pretty much continuing from the same sort of place. But it shows you, like, I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been 22 game weeks at the end of the day, or 21 game weeks. I was going to say, like, with the same team, yet I'm at 750k, you're at 29k. That's captaincy. That's how you perform the first half of the season. There's a lot to it. So I'm pretty much transferring the same team over to the new host, apart from the rank. I might even just make those now. In fact, I'll hold them off. I'll hold them off in case we get anything fun in the comments. Guys, what I'd ask you to do is start getting questions into the comments, ideally A or B or yes or no style questions. We'll try and answer as many as we can before the deadline. Well, we're not going to be here until the deadline. We'll probably be here for another 20 minutes or so. But by all means, ping them into us and we'll try and help you out. In terms of other talking points for the week, Leeds players, have you been even remotely tempted at any stage?
Not really. I mean, just it dependent on structure. I was kind of tempted by, I'm not even sure how to pronounce the name, Nonto, just because if you were going to go for 5 in midfield, then he'd be a good 8th choice attacker, and then you just play him this week. But it didn't really work out for my team. But I think it's a decent pick. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah,
Rodrigo as well would have been fine. I'm not sure I would have gone for him, but
I think
that's not an option
Rodrigo's out
anymore.
for 2 months now.
Yeah, he is exactly. So
Yeah, hopefully
no,
not.
and then no one else really.
I think the thing with Leeds, the way I look at them, and I was saying this earlier today, was they're almost like a luxury. I feel like you really need to be prioritising all these doubles and all the premium guys, and we can afford them all, so you've no real excuse. I feel going Leeds, you're trying to be different, or you're overvaluing or over. the double game week for Leeds. Basically, you're going, oh, it's a double, but realistically, they're away from home at United in one of those games who have an incredible defence who are probably going to score goals. So I don't think I want Leeds defenders. I don't think I want Leeds attackers. So I think you're kind of getting them for the sake of getting them. Call me naive, call me a fool. Let me know if you disagree in the comments. But like, I don't know. I think you're trying to be too cool if you're doing it, unless you've absolutely nothing else to do and you're burning transfers.
I think the only thing, if you were for some reason on a free hit, which I doubt many people watching this would be maybe the keeper, and that's it. Just if you wanted to spread money differently, but yeah, apart from that, I don't think. I mean, people have gone for Nonto, so but apart from him, I'm not too sure.
And Chef AB asks, is Melia a great option? So you think like if you're on a free hit, you'd maybe think of him?
I think he's a decent transfer in. To be fair, just he's not going to get. I'd be shocked if they get a clean sheet, but he'll get save points.
He'll get save points, and over 2 games, if he gets a few saves a game, that can rack up.
Exactly. I mean, I'd have him over my keeper this week for sure.
So Leeds are there. Another team just to talk about are Brighton. Brighton, 3 good games in the blank in 25, so everyone's kind of staying away from them for that. I think if you're getting them, you have to get them now. There's no point in waiting a week because then you're kind of getting less utility before the blank. But they look on fire. Matoma in particular coming up a lot. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Brighton? Again, is it luxury? Is it prioritise doubles? Or what are your thoughts?
I think you can definitely get Matoma in right now, but I agree it would have to be now because after that, then you're looking at the blank and you're thinking, well, I'm probably going to have Trippier United, at least Trippier, maybe another Newcastle player as well, and then it gets a little bit risky. But I think like it's an easy thing to say, build towards the blank now. But you have to remember that there are 3, those are 3 good games. Bournemouth at home, Palace away, Fulham at home. It wouldn't shock you for, Matoma to get 20 points in those 3 games. You wouldn't say, oh, that's such a shock.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better just, if it's going to be another hit down the line, well, take the 20 points now and just deal with it when you get to 25.
I've just broken my head trying to work out what I should do or what I shouldn't do, but I just come up with an idea and I want to talk through this path, right? And it's maybe a really stupid thing that I should have thought about before the stream, but we're going to do this live and people can make fun of me and they can kick me out the door and say thank God he's leaving. Let's pretend I got rid of Martinelli, right? Now I know you're thinking Martinelli is the double next week. No, it's just stupid.
You gotta go for it.
I'm basically saying
let's hear it.
I could go Martinelli out, right? And then I could bring in a Matoma. Okay, and I know you're thinking, John, you're crazy. Martinelli has the greatest fixture in the world next week, right? Yeah, but this week he's up against Everton. It's a pretty good fixture too. Anyway, imagine Matoma came in, right?
Yeah.
4 points, take the hit. I've got Matoma for a few weeks. That would mean this week coming, I have a free transfer. I've already got Triple City. I can bring in for maybe Fernandez to get out of that whole United thing. Oh, maybe I want them against Leeds again, though. I'm talking next week it would open the door for Odegaard because I would much prefer Odegaard over Martinelli.
Yeah.
So, but then it's a -4 to do that. So maybe it's just stupid.
See, my thing is just waiting on that and then just having Martinelli for this week and then with a free transfer next week thinking, is it worth going Martinelli to Odegaard next week? Just for free. Yeah. Because you'd need Mitoma to outscore Martinelli by 4 points for it to be worth it, which he could easily do, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I don't love it. Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's one of those, if you want to go slightly more aggressive and then you think the Bournemouth fixture's great.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll stop trying to be cool, will I? I'll just stop trying to be cool.
That's definitely that's the hipster move right there, Matoma.
It is it's trying to be too cool though. I think it's waiting for a slap on the arse during the game week and kind of thinking, what have I done? So yeah,
you might be into that, So
yeah. Sometimes I pay for that.
Exactly.
I can get it for free. So, right. Let's see some questions. If there's any jump out at you, by the way, just sort of go for them.
Sure.
Bench KDB or Mahrez?
Oh, that's actually really tough. A lot of people
would
are thinking that.
Do you have
only
to?
Because against Tottenham, he's Pep's played a different sort of a 4-4-2 in the past with playing with Alvarez against the back 5, and De Bruyne hasn't always played against against Spurs. And people that know what they're talking about, like Luke Disable on Twitter, are having it at like 60-40 that KDB plays. So it's not guaranteed for him to start. Whereas Mahrez, I think, is slightly more nailed for this 1 week, which is a crazy thing to say. So honestly, that one is actually closer than it sounds. I would still go KDB, but that's actually pretty close.
It's a tough one as well, though, because it takes a bit of balls to go benching a City asset any day,
100%.
any week. I don't care about the fixture. Benching either of them is ballsy.
Actually, you don't need to bench. Just play them both. Surely there's someone worse than that you could bench.
There has to be. There has to be. Mitrovic or something. Saka or Odegaard?
Yes. Ooh.
It's the budget comes into play there, isn't it? I think we'd all, ideally, if they were the same price... Well, actually, I don't even know. Maybe we would just pick Saka.
Well, we're still not sure who's on penalties, are we? They haven't had a penalty in a while, unless I'm missing something. But people seem to think that Saka's on penalties. So yeah, if you have the money, definitely Saka.
I like Odegaard for the sake of the saving.
Cool player.
Do you know, it's the saving that I like about him. Don't get me wrong, I love Saka too, but I think they're quite finely balanced. Odegaard's outscored him so far this season. I think Odegaard might have more double-digit hauls. I need to go and look at that before I make that statement.
He does.
So maybe there's higher like banging potential there. Saka will tick along for you more. But I think for 1.3 million of a difference, I would probably pick Odegaard. And you might think, oh, but I want Saka, and but I have the money. Yeah, but you don't know what money you'll need in 2 weeks, and you could be sitting scratching your arse looking for 0.8 million, and all of a sudden you've spent an extra 1.3. So if I was actually picking next week, because I will have the budget to go like Martinelli, maybe to a Saka, I think I would still just go to an Odegaard, because I think I just prefer that. But anyway, I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily a right answer there. Well, there maybe is a right answer, but we won't know the answer for a few weeks. Perisic or Ferguson, who are you starting?
Full team.
Why would you be starting
sure.
Perisic against City?
I don't even know if is he guaranteed to play? I don't even know. Oh, is Ferguson not injured?
Is he?
I thought he avoided ligament damage, but does he have a flag?
He does have a flag, so that's why this question comes in. Okay,
I
was thinking surely that's a no-brainer. What's the question about? Okay, well, I think the way you look at that is, in my opinion, I feel like Perisic against Man City, you're fighting an uphill battle, whereas I feel if you play Ferguson and he doesn't play, Perisic will come on anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if Ferguson's fit, he's not
going to get 10 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
And if he gets half an hour, I'd probably take half an hour. It's Bournemouth, isn't it? I'd rather take half an hour against Bournemouth at home than playing Man City as a defender, personally.
I agree.
All right, let's see what else we say. And if you see any again, as I say, shout. But otherwise, I'll keep throwing them at you. Sure. Cucurella or Mitrovic? Who you starting? Jeez, these really are the. It looks like everyone's having a bit of a benching headache. Everyone knows what transfers they're making, but everyone's having benching headaches.
Cucurella or Mitch? I would go Mitrovic on that one. I think Fulham will score against us. I'm a Chelsea fan, but that one's that's not a gimme. But yeah, I would just favour the attacker there. It depends if you have Kepa in goal as well, then I would definitely go Mitrovic. Just spread it a little bit. Some people don't like doing that, but
I'm actually like, in my gut. I find it hard doing that, and I think it's because I play maybe other fantasy games where peak scores on a given game week matter more. Whereas maybe in FPL it's more of a marathon, not a sprint. Therefore, you'd rather at least if Mitrovic gets the 6 points and Kepa doesn't, you're getting something. Whereas I'm used to kind of like going for like all out peak score. So if I put them against each other, I'm not going to get the best possible score I can, no matter what happens. So I don't know. That's a rough one. I'm just going to I'm going to leave your answer as the answer to that one. Kepa versus.
I think they've said as well. I would. Is it Goober said? Yes, I think it's going to be a score draw as well. That's exactly 1-1 is what I think it would be. So that's why I'd go Mitro. Yeah.
I bet if you get that right, that's something you can boast about next week. Kepa or Pope? Who are you starting?
Who in Newcastle? Oh, Pope. Newcastle have a good fixture, don't they? Yeah, definitely Pope. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be definitely Pope.
They've conceded 1 goal in 11.
I put out a short today. I put out a short today on my personal YouTube, and the shorts kind of theme was like things that have happened since Newcastle last conceded a first half goal, right?
Oh,
The
wow.
date was August the 28th was the last time they conceded a first half goal. I don't know if that's in the Premier League or what. I can't remember. Someone else did the research for me. But like ultimately, like the things that have happened are stupid. Do you know, there's things that I didn't even put in the video, but you remember like the series Dammer that we all binged? It was before that.
Before it
Ronaldo
even came out?
scored goals for
Oh my
United
gosh.
after that. It was like Liz Truss's full tenure was after that. We've been through 3 seasons since they last conceded.
Yeah.
There's a load of stuff like this. It was so I don't know. I just think if you've got Pope, you have to play him. And West Ham at home isn't that bad a fixture at all.
No, you got to play Pope. And also, the only way they conceded against Southampton was a great strike from 25 yards from Che Adams. It's so unlikely. Their stats are unbelievable, and they're just playing so well. Yeah, you got to go for Pope.
Yeah, it's I think it's a no-brainer. You have to play Pope if you have him.
Yeah.
Would you go Andreas to Matoma? Says Michael.
That one because of 25 is quite hard. That's that kind of depends on who if that's going to be your 8th slot. So if you're then going to bench, it depends who you're going to bench out of your other 8 attackers. Because if it's someone like Mitrovic, then probably not. But if it's someone worse, like an Almiron or someone like that, then maybe. But I would probably just take the money instead and drop, if you have Almiron, drop him to Mitoma and then keep Andreas. You're going to want Andreas in 25, and he's just the best 4.5 midfielder there is. You're probably going to want him for the season. So I'd try and take the money somewhere else and then have Mitoma still.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Andreas is just kind of like such a great enabler to have. Put more money there is going to take away elsewhere in the team. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I
was looking at doing, because I can afford to just do, instead of selling Almiron, I can sell Andreas and still get up to Fernandes and get Nketiah. But I just think Andreas is there for the season, and just take the money and spend it somewhere else.
Yeah, just leave him at worst case as the 15th man. But quite often we find that he isn't. He's normally the 12th man.
He might be on
days.
pens as well now.
Yeah. You just never know. A few other good ones here. Botman or Martinelli? Who are you playing?
I would play the attacker. I think I'd play the attacker there. Just for the upside.
That's what I was going to throw at you there. I was saying, like, the upside, I suppose, with the attackers there. Botman, for the record, has 5 6-point scores on the bounce.
Yeah.
So you have to look at him and think his upside is maybe his highest score this season. He's got a good few of them, to be fair, is 7, where he picks up a bonus point. So you have to think that Botman's upside is 7 points, whereas Martinelli, if he gets 1 goal, it's like his base for like a good day is 7. It's probably even 8 here. Most of the time you get a bonus along with that. So I just think like the upside there, and it's not a bad fixture for Martinelli away at Everton, as we said about the disarray there. So I would probably be going Martinelli. But I love Botman. The trouble is, if they keep a clean sheet, Botman's always competing with Schär and Trippier, more importantly, for bonus. So it's like, it'd be very, very hard for him ever to get bonus because of how dominant that defense is and how there are much more attacking defenders in that lineup. So
and he's good for bonus as well, like baseline, his pass completion and stuff. But still, he obviously never gets anywhere.
It's who he's competing with is the problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then even Pope as well. Pope makes 1 or 2 saves, and he's pretty good for baseline as well. And then Schär's great. So yeah, I completely understand that.
Right up there. Kulusevski to Anthony for a -4. Anthony, there you go.
I like that. There we go. That's fun. I would do that.
Would you? Go on then.
Yeah, why not? If you can't get to Bruno, I would do that. I think Anthony's been playing well. More in the cups than in the league, but he's got a good double. Why not?
I think, honestly, I would personally go Casemiro over Anthony.
Would you?
Well, I mean, he's like what, 2.5 million less or something?
Yeah, but he's like, I know, but he's a defensive midfielder. Oh, is he even a defensive midfielder?
I know, but I don't know. I just feel like Casemiro's getting more kind of goals and assists than we expected. Yeah. I feel like he could crop up with one. I don't know what he's like for bonus, actually. I imagine he's pretty good if he gets...
pretty good.
Yeah, he's very involved. So, like, if he does get the goal or assist, you're looking at a 10-pointer. Or whatever it would be, like an 8-pointer or something. So, I don't know. I don't really like Anthony. I think he's a cracking player. I think he's a bright future. All the rest. I'm not trying to shit on the guy, but like short term right now, it's like I don't want to pick him. I don't want to pick Jadon Sancho. I don't want to pick Anthony. I don't want to pick a handful of United assets. I'll throw one at you though. Weghorst and Martial. What are you thinking of them? A lot of people might have Martial. I think Martial is probably a hold, but not a buy. And I think Weghorst is probably the same. Not that many people will have him.
I think the tough one for Martial owners is if you already have 3 United and you want to get Bruno, because then you're trying to decide whether to keep Martial for this week or do the switch to Bruno. But I think, it's just if you got him, keep him. If you don't have him, don't buy him and go for someone else. But I think he could do well. I'd expect him to play 120 minimum. Yeah, maybe. And him and Weghorst might get a start each. I wouldn't get Weghorst though. No.
I think when I look at them, this is why I say he's a keep and not a buy. Is that I don't think I'd buy Martial because I think what could quite feasibly happen is, as you say, if they take 90 minutes each, you're looking at like a 60 and a 30. Yeah. So each of them gets to start, stays on with the 60-minute mark, and the other one gets the other 30 or something like that. So if we look at it like 90 is what you'd expect, 120 is the upside. Yeah. Why not go for someone who might get 180? And for me, that's Casemiro. So I know they're different positions, so we're kind of chalk and cheese here. I've kind of brought in the Anthony Casemiro bit, but my point is I just don't think they're priority assets to get in for United, but if you have them, it's very hard to go ditching them on a double game week.
No, I agree.
Because you're making transfers there, burning transfers for, I don't know, marginal gains. But anyway, I actually haven't asked people to like the video yet. Like the video, it's my final one. Let me go.
I've not even liked it myself.
Jeez,
embarrassing.
Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to Fantasy Football Hub for more content. As I say, this is my last stream here. If you have any interest in following me, look up John Nellis. I think my channel is linked in the description below. Did that cheekily. Maybe they'll adjust it after I leave, but it's there for now. But yeah, if you care about what I go on to do. Let me see. Mitrovic or Wilson out for Nketiah. Did we answer that? Did I ask that? Because I've definitely read it to myself.
I don't think so.
Okay. Are you getting rid of Mitrovic or Wilson?
Is Wilson...
Isaac's back, isn't he?
Is he fully fit, Wilson? Is he playing? I don't even know. Let me have a look.
Isaac is a head injury. Jeez.
Yeah, okay. He got a concussion, I think, in the cup.
Ugh.
The other day. So, yeah, I would probably for now keep... I mean, Wilson's got 2 good fixtures, so I'd keep Wilson and sell Mitro if you had to. But I wouldn't necessarily want to sell Mitro. I think after this game, he's got pretty good fixtures, including 25, whereas Wilson will blank in that week. But that's quite a way in the future.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be looking at them thinking, get them both out for Nketiah. Just get them both out. Get 2 Nketiahs. I don't know.
Yeah.
John Wilson looks bad, but keeps starting. Okay. I can't say I've actually watched a hell of a lot of them.
No.
Do you know what I'm finding? I don't know if it is. Because I follow so much like European football, and I think the last couple of weekends I've been away. I feel like recently I've watched very little football. There you go. I've said it. So I'm looking forward to this weekend of a bit of time, and then my girlfriend's actually going away for a couple of weeks for work. So it's going to be a mad couple of weeks of like sitting crying by myself, eating popcorn, watching football on Wednesday nights. So I'm getting a bit excited. Is there anything else in your head that we haven't covered, or has anyone got any questions that maybe haven't been discussed? I like how we're talking about all the weird players because I feel like this week's just been.
Yeah.
Have I even asked the question? If you had your triple captain, are you triple captain in Rashford? Did I ask you that?
Oh, I'm not sure if we did that.
No,
but I am.
I am 110%. If I had my triple captain, I burned it like a fool on Haaland a couple of weeks ago.
Me too.
Or a week, whenever it was. So
it feels like it was a couple of weeks ago, but it was last game week. Yeah.
Yeah. So time wise, a couple of weeks ago, 1 game week ago. But for me, if I hadn't done that, absolutely 110% on Rashford.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think it's between him and Haaland next week, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, I agree. But I think the Arsenal fixture for Haaland away from home swings it for me. Arsenal are no joke.
Yeah.
They really aren't. Haaland's no joke either. But I just think Rashford, form of his life, 2 assists off the bench. Sorry, with a small delay there.
Yeah, sorry.
I think it's my internet. Go for it.
No, I was just saying, people were saying with the Haaland 23 double that, yeah, forget about the Arsenal. If he gets something, that's great. But the Villa game is the one you want to target. But now Villa are not, I don't think, are going to get battered. I mean, famous last words. But they've improved a lot defensively anyway. So I was just, yeah, I mean, Palace and Leeds is pretty good, especially the Leeds game. Like that is pretty good at home.
Yeah. I think the thing with Rashford is, as I look at him there, 2 home games, Palace, Leeds, both are going to concede, you'd imagine, and he's got what, 5 assists and 5 returns in his last 6 Premier League games, the 2 assists in the cup. Form of his life, confidence. United look to have turned a corner. There's just so many things going there. I don't think, you can take the chance that, I don't know. If I had to pick now between Rashford this week, Haaland next week, I pick Rashford personally. If I'm looking ahead to the future and thinking of what may or may not be later in the season, I think waiting for someone to be in as good form with 2 home fixtures against 2 mid to lower table teams, I just don't know if you're going to find that. And you say, oh, well, Haaland might get a better double at some stage. And yeah, 1 on the hand's worth 2 in the bush. He might, but equally he might be injured. Equally he might get rotated for Champions League. Equally there's a million ifs. So again, the reason I did the Haaland triple captain was almost like maybe we won't get Haaland in another sort of couple of fixtures like this. Don't regret doing it, but it is what it is. But I just think like Rashford, you have to take this opportunity if you have the triple captaincy.
I completely agree. I think like minutes are very underrated when it comes to triple captaincy. And if you can guarantee that your player, well, you can never guarantee minutes, but you can, before a game, you can say it's very likely that Rashford will play and start both games. If he's fit, he will start both games because they don't have any other games in between. So same way that with Haaland last game week, we would like, well, yeah, he's more than likely going to play the vast majority of the minutes. That makes such a big difference. And if you know that information and it's 2 great fixtures and he's in the form of his life, yeah, I would 100% do it.
Yeah, I think so. Is there anything else you want to cover, or will I click this button and confirm my transfers?
Well, I need to do the same, The only thing I would, maybe the 3rd City slot now that Cancelo's gone. But that's more for next week than this week.
Yeah, but still, I suppose I'll ask you the question, like, who are your top 3? We'll assume it's Haaland, Mahrez, or Haaland, Mahrez, De Bruyne, whatever. But who's the 4th then, or your 3rd?
Yeah, because I'm just not sure. Pep's made some weird comments today about people filling in at left back, and he's saying that Ake won't be able to play every game there and stuff like that. And it feels a bit weird because they've sold Cancelo, and they don't have another left back that's a left back that will start in the Prem. I know they have Gomez, but I don't think Pep rates him that highly. So it's just whether who to go for now. And Stones is injured as well, so maybe Akanji is an option, Ake is an option. I think I'd go for 3 attackers though, as you said, if I could do whatever I wanted.
Is there anyone else outside the big 3 that you'd give any airtime? Probably not. You're just trying to be cool. You're just trying to overthink it or trying to be different, really.
I think so. And that is very boring, I admit. But no, there's not.
Yeah. So everyone in the comments, I'm about to click the button, confirm transfers. If you think I absolutely shouldn't, share it at me now. You've probably got about 15 seconds. Almiron and Kane out, Fernandez and Nketiah in. I think that's what both of us are at.
Yeah. 100%.
I think that's the one. I might click the button. But then again, what if we get news in an hour? This is always what I think. But then it's like, but what if I walk my dog in an hour and then forget? So it's like, I better get it done now. People are mentioning Ederson. Anya's mentioned Ederson in the comments.
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. That's a good shout. I forgot about him. He's nailed. So that's a good shout.
I just did it. The transfer has been made.
It's done.
It's done. I just clicked the button. A moment of madness, you could say.
Well, I remember, I think maybe last year, Liverpool had a double, and I was waiting for as long as possible to get news, and I was going to get Robertson in for Dean, and then I just forgot 5 minutes before the deadline because I was waiting for news that long that I forgot the deadline even existed. So it happens.
Ugh. I got caught with the website crash earlier this season.
Oh, that was tragic. Yeah. That was awful.
It's kind of scarred me. So I know I like to just pop it, that we are early, just to be sure, just in case anything happens.
And what are you going to get in the next? The games aren't today. There's only one game today. You're not going to get anything.
Shouldn't get any more information in the next hour. Travel. Oh God, I hope not.
Mitro news. You never know. I doubt it though.
Yeah. Did I not hit save team? Tom helped me out. I did save my team thing. Yeah, it did. Rashford. I'll change my vice to Bruno maybe, just in case Rashford pulls up or something. But look, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for today. Everyone, best of luck this weekend. Go and make your moves. Make them wisely. I leave you in good hands with... What do you want to go by on the channel? You going by Redditor?
You know, I don't actually know. I don't know. I think Jack.
Jack? Jack or Redditor?
I don't know.
You've been called worse. You'll probably take either.
Oh, I've been called so much worse. Like, give me anything that's not, straight up abuse, and I'll be delighted. Yeah.
So Jack's taken over. That'll be the last of me for now. Maybe I'll be back on at some stage as a guest. Who knows? But guys, thanks for everything. I hope you have enjoyed the last sort of 6 or 8 months. I'm going to ride off into the sunset here, but you're in good hands. Best of luck this weekend. Best of luck for the rest of the season. I'll chat to you all soon. And best of luck, Jack.